Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be giving you guys some ideas for sociology further reading which can help you towards an A or A star grade at A level. I'm currently a year 13 student and I have been using a lot of these ideas and I have found them really helpful. They've also come partly from my teacher, so many thanks to her. And yeah, I do think that further reading is very, very important for sociology because a lot of the textbook information can be quite outdated, so you do want to be reading more, up-to-date things so that you can get your AO2 examples and your AO3 evaluation. Which leads me to the first thing that you should do, and that is read the news. So I personally read The Guardian. I think they're really good for sociology. They've got a lot of opinion pieces. They also talk a lot about social issues, especially their legal section can help with crime and deviance. But I would also find it useful to read things like the Daily Mail or the Sun because they tend to provide quite right realist ideas sometimes, or new right ideas, which can then also be used to apply to your studies, or even just the BBC to get some good old examples in. So with Cicerel's Navigate the Justice System in Crime and Deviance, there are plenty of cases which you'll probably find on the BBC about maybe perhaps, people from middle class backgrounds getting lighter sentences and how that could be down to how they navigate the justice system or down to police typifications. But you've also got books, you've got podcasts, you've got YouTube videos, you've got documentaries. So I'm going to start with the books. And one of the best things you can do is read the studies which you're learning about. So I've got here Learning to Labour by Paul Willis. What a lad, I love Paul Willis. So his study was, if you haven't covered it yet, he did an ethnographic study of 12 working class boys who called themselves the lads. And it was sort of longitudinal, so he did it over quite an extended period of time, and he paired participant observations with interviews and informal discussion. And by reading it, you can see how his research methods are in action, so that really helps the methods in context. And you can also get a better idea of his study in general, so that can really help you with your AO3, your evaluation, your analysis, all of that jazz, and also your application, perhaps of contemporary ideas if you're reading it and you see something which could then still be applied from something you'd seen in the news from your previous further reading. Basically, it's really good. Also, get a better idea of the study and its revision. It's excellent. I'm also planning at some point after Christmas reading Becker's Study of the Outsiders for Crime and Deviance. I've read some articles by Louise Archer on education. They're really good. You can find them online. There's Miseducation by Diane Reay. There's loads of books. Honestly, if you just search the sociologist's name, you can probably find their book. Although some of them might be a bit difficult, but Learning to Labour I can 100% definitely recommend. You should read it. It's actually quite funny. It's really good. I love Paul Willis. But you've also got non-sociological books such as The Secret Barrister, which, as you can see, I got for £5 from the works. So I want to do law at uni, so I was just reading this as further reading for law. But it ended up being really helpful for sociology as well. So when I was going through it with post-it notes, because I had a university interview and I wanted to make sure I had something to say about it, because as I say, I'd read it, but in year 11, and if they asked me about it, I wanted to be able to discuss it. So I did reread it and I did make notes, and I found lots of statistics in here. There was a lot of about the costs of training, specific cuts, how many people statistically are given bail or convicted. And there was, mention of the prosecution being unprepared. I'm trying to find a specific example which was really useful for sociology. And that was relevant. Okay, so it's relevant to media. It's talking about the media sort of creates a moral panic. So that's evidence for Cohen's study. So you can use that as sort of an example again, but also reading the media, you might be able to find examples of moral panics. Or reading government reports is also good for further reading. I can't actually find it, but there was a bit where it was talking about how prison doesn't work as a punishment, so that could be used as an evaluation of right realism. As I say, you've also got podcasts and documentaries, and for documentaries we've got my absolute favourite, Educating Yorkshire. It counts. It counts towards sociology because it's research methods. Although in an essay, I probably wouldn't say, in educating Yorkshire, you can use it to better get an understanding. There's also, there's loads of articles, not articles, loads of documentaries about education. So there's the Great British School Swap. Also, quite recently, The School That Tried to End Racism is quite interesting, looking at ethnicity and education. There's, I forgot the name of it. There was one about like family types. This Anne Robinson's Britain Has Family Types. Basically, there are loads of documentaries. A lot of them will just be on TV. If you just go on there and you look what documentaries are on, I'm sure there'll be something relevant to sociology. Also, make sure you watch the news again, get an idea maybe for how the media is contributing to these ideas, and they may also report on things. You can talk a lot about our favourite coronavirus and how that might be impacting education and equality. There's loads of news on that. Sorry, I'm going back to the news. Reading the news is great for sociology. Definitely read the news. Okay, and podcasts. So the Sociology Show is really good. And again, here's just me being a law person. But Law in Action podcast is really good for the crime and deviance topic. There's loads. There's loads you can do for sociology. And my phone is running out of storage, so I will have to end this video here. But I do hope you found these suggestions useful, and I wish you luck with your sociological studies. That sounded so cringe. Please let me know in the comments if you've read anything interesting that you would recommend to people. And a lot of this is just for AO2 application of ideas. So in the exam, yeah, you've got to say, for example, this happens, and you've got to be specific. And these ideas can really help you do that. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.